Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Before we get started, I do want to mention that this webinar offers closed captioning. To enable closed captioning, click on the blue widget or the CC in a box located at the bottom left of the screen. And welcome to the City of Chicago Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection webinar. We have adapted our regular business education workshops at City Hall into these webinars until further notice. Please note any website or email that I mention will be posted in the chat box. All BACP offices are open to limited members of the public. Masks are required in all BACP facilities. For those seeking business licensing assistance, we strongly encourage the processing of licenses and permits online. Businesses can apply or renew their license online by visiting chicagobusinessdirect.org, or you can call 312-74-GO-BIZ. If you are part of the BACP Entrepreneur Certificate Program, you can get credit for joining this webinar by sending an email to bacpoutreach@cityofchicago.org. If you want to learn about the program, you can visit chicago.gov/business-education. Also, this webinar is being recorded and will be available at youtube.com/ChicagoBACP. Once again, that information will all be posted in the chat box. And we encourage attendees to ask questions. Please use the chat box and send your questions to all panelists. There will be a Q&A session at the end of the presentation. And today's webinar will be resources to start and grow your business. To honor and recognize Polish American Heritage Month, this webinar is geared towards the Polish business community. Polish American Heritage Month is observed in October and celebrates the vital contributions of Polish descent. People of Polish descent have made in history and culture. This webinar will inform and empower business owners and entrepreneurs of the available resources offered by business development organizations. This presentation will be in English with the opportunity to ask questions in English or in Polish during the question and answer at the very end. Our panelists today are Bogdan, Pukszta, Executive Director of the Polish American Chamber of Commerce, Michał, Rzeźnik, Head of Foreign Trade Office in Chicago, Polish Investment and Trade Agency, Iwona Wegrzyn-Bocheńska, Senior Internationalist Trade Specialist with the Office of Trade and Investment for the state of Illinois, and Agnieszka Rapacz, President and Tea Sommelier of Tea Weszender. And before we get started, I will do the introduction in Polish as well. Dzień dobry i witam wszystkich. Nazywam się Elisa Sledzinka i pracuję w Departamencie Spraw Biznesowych i Ochrony Konsumentów w Chicago. Proszę zwrócić uwagę, że każda strona internetowa lub e-mail, o której wspominam, zostanie umieszczona w okienku czatu. Wszystkie biura BACP są otwarte dla publiczności, ale maski są wymagane we wszystkich biurach BACP. O licencje biznesowe można ubiegać się lub odnowić je online na stronie chicagobusinessdirect.org lub dzwonić pod numer 312-744-6249. Zachęcamy wszystkich uczestników do zadawania pytań. Skorzystaj z okienka czatu i wyślij swoje pytanie do wszystkich panelistów. Po zakończeniu prezentacji odbędzie się sesja pytań i odpowiedzi. Dzisiejsze seminarium internetowe będzie wstępem do rozpoczęcia i rozwoju firm. Aby uhonorować miesiąc dziedzictwa Polonii Amerykańskiej, seminarium internetowe skierowane jest do polskiej społeczności biznesowej. Prezentacja będzie prowadzona w języku maltańskim z możliwości zadawania pytań w języku polskim podczas Q&A. Paneliści dzisiaj są Bogdan, Pukszta, dyrektor Polsko-Amerykańska Izba Handlowa, Michał, Rzeźnik, dyrektor Zagranicznego Biura Handlowego w Chicago, Polska Agencja Inwestycji i Handlu, Iwona Wegrzyn-Bocheńska z Biurem Handlu i Inwestycji stanu Illinois i Agnieszka Rapacz, prezydent T. Gwenster. Zaczynamy. We will now begin the English portion of the webinar. And we'll first kick things off with some information about the Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection. The department ensures a fair and vibrant marketplace for businesses, employees, and consumers. So not only do we license businesses and public vehicles, we also protect consumers from fraud and from illegal business activities. We enforce Chicago's labor laws as well, and we provide education and access to resources for businesses similar to these webinars. So it falls into three different buckets. We license businesses through our Small Business Center. We protect our consumers who are able to file complaints against City of Chicago businesses through the 311 system. And we protect our employee workforce by having a dedicated office of the Office of Labor Standards. And that office oversees laws such as minimum wage, paid sick leave, and fair work week. Our Small Business Center, which is located at City Hall, is the licensing division of BACP. It is also the one-stop shop for the City of Chicago for all business licensing, public way use permitting, and connecting entrepreneurs to business resources. The SBC is located at City Hall and it is open to the public. However, right now we are strongly recommending appointments be made by going to chicago.gov/BACP or by calling 312-74-GO-BIZ. And while in the Small Business Center, we have business consultants that walk you through the entire business licensing process by step 1, determining your legal entity, step 2, registering your business entity with the appropriate government agencies, and 3, finally applying for a City of Chicago business license online or in person. So you can come into the Small Business Center and not having much direction on how to start your business, and one of our business consultants will walk you through the entire process. Also, previously, we had in the Small Business Center our business advice corner. Currently, all the organizations part of the business advice corner are offering advice through their organizations remotely. SCORE Chicago offers business counseling, including business planning. The Chicago Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights offers legal assistance for businesses. And the Allies for Community Business and Women's Business Development Center offer financial assistance. Our department also handles outreach and education to support the growth of small businesses in Chicago. We host a series of free expos that offer resources on financing, licensing, and business networking. And this is an opportunity for new and existing businesses who want to grow their business in the City of Chicago can come and get information. They previously were in person. They currently are being held remotely. And our next one is scheduled for next Thursday, October 21st. And you can register for the expo by visiting smallbizexpo.com. In addition to that, the webinar you are currently participating in is part of our business education program. We offer free webinars on Wednesday afternoons and Friday mornings on webinar topics such as marketing, business planning, financing, and they are all conducted by city officials, experts, and our partner business organizations. Since you are here, and you do know that you can register by going to chicago.gov/business education. And a good majority of our webinars are recorded and then uploaded to youtube.com/Chicago BACP. And part of our program is the BACP Entrepreneur Certificate Program. If you attend 9 workshops within 6 months, you are then connected to our partner bank, CIBC, and you qualify for an entrepreneur loan. And you can find more information about that by going to chicago.gov/business education. And like I mentioned, our department not only ensures that businesses are licensed within the city of Chicago, we also make sure that consumers are not being taken advantage by businesses. We have a consumer protection campaign called Be Informed, Be Protected. And it covers different items that consumers can learn about fraud and informing them of actions they can take when they do become a victim. And you could find all of the flyers at chicago.gov/BACP. Finally, for those who do not make it over to City Hall, we have our Neighborhood Business Development Center program. These are chambers of commerce that are located in all of Chicago's communities, and they offer one-on-one assistance for business owners. They can give you information on the neighborhood you're looking to start your business, troubleshooting any city-related issues. They connect you to financial resources, offer networking opportunities, and they can give you some general sense about the consumer market in that neighborhood. And luckily with us today, we actually do have one of our chamber members, the Polish American Chamber of Commerce, who will be doing a presentation shortly, and they'll talk about some of the resources that they offer to their members and the community. And then this year, the city of Chicago launched 8 Chicago-based business service organizations to serve as regional hubs, and they provide very technical business licensing assistance. They are trained by our business consultants from City Hall, so they know the entire licensing process in the city of Chicago. And they offer support for the startup entrepreneur, existing business owner, or anyone who has an idea and just needs some more information how to get started. And then, of course, to get informed about all of our resources, you can follow us on social media by finding us at Chicago BACP, our YouTube channel, and coming to our website. I will now pass it over to Bogdan with the Polish American Chamber of Commerce.
Well, hello, everyone, and thank you, Elisa. And thank you to the entire Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection for organizing today's event, the event we're having today in October, this month, when we celebrate Polish American history, culture, and the contributions Poles have made to this nation from the very beginning. These contributions have certainly included the efforts of numerous entrepreneurs, business owners, people who have been part of the labor force that has led to the economic development of the country. This happened especially beginning with late 19th century and early 20th century, when large numbers of immigrants from Poland came to America, and when large cities like Chicago grew dramatically as industrial and business centers. The Polish American Chamber of Commerce, which I represent today, was established only about a quarter century ago, in 1994 to be exact. But we know, based on information from Chicago institutions such as the Polish Museum of America, that there were other Polish American business and professional associations here before us. And so we believe that in a way we're a continuation of those organizations, and we're also a part of the rich landscape or ecosystem, as entrepreneurs like to say, of the Chicago area Polish American organizational life today. Our mission, as you can see from the next slide, is dedicated to fostering its members' business interests and needs. And it reads like quite a lengthy paragraph, but there's actually a shorter version of it, which simply states that we support the business interests of our members, educate and build relations in the US and abroad. And having heard Elisa's remarks about the department that she works for of the city of Chicago, I can also say that we're, to a large degree, an extension of that department's small business center. We offer quite a few similar services, but our focus is Chicago's Polish American community, which again includes quite a few entrepreneurs who are immigrants from Poland. As the next slide shows, we operate in a very active and sizable entrepreneurial community. The numbers that you see on the slides are estimates that are close to 10 years old now, and we hope we will help update the information sometime soon, to a degree based perhaps on the most recent census. But if anything, based on our observations, the number of businesses that are owned and managed by immigrants from Poland grows in Chicago and the Chicagoland area. Just since this last summer, 4 startup companies joined the PACC as new members. 2 of these businesses are being developed by Poles who arrived in Chicago from Poland not more than 2 years ago. They are in touch with us almost daily, seeking support and information that can help them, and participate in our programs and events of the sort that you can see on the next slide. As you can see, these include educational, promotional, networking, even philanthropic and community events. We basically try to support entrepreneurs to develop and do as well as they can so that they can also do good and support others. Businesses who work with us can enjoy quite a few tangible and intangible benefits, as you can see from the next slide. But again, probably information sharing, networking, relationship development, and promotional opportunities. These are the benefits that are probably of the most interest to most of the businesses and entrepreneurs who work with us. As a Chicago-based and Chicago-centric, I have to say, agency, we work closely with the Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection. And in 2021 and 2022, as part of this collaboration, we're focusing on Chicago's Milwaukee Avenue Commercial Corridor. And you have a slide, the next slide, which to a degree illustrates that. And as you can see, this gives us an opportunity to collaborate, promote business and economic development along the Milwaukee Avenue from downtown to Niles by collaborating with other organizations. On the photo, there is a part of that slide you can see a representative of the Polish American Chamber of Commerce wearing sunglasses, posing with the president of Milwaukee Avenue Alliance, with the executive director of Logan Square Chamber of Commerce, and with the alderman of word number 35. I believe his name is Carlos Ramirez Rosa. On another photo, you can see us meeting to discuss economic development with the alderman of the 38th ward, Ms. Nugent. A section of Milwaukee Avenue, I think the northmost, is a part of her ward. And the third photo illustrates one of the startup businesses that joined us last month, and they're looking forward to us and to many of you, hopefully, participating in the grand opening, which we'll be organizing for Ella's hair studio, located at 4310 North Milwaukee Avenue in the heart of Chicago's Northwest Side on November 18th. Aside from the local dimension of our organizational life, we're also to a degree a binational agency or chamber. This is also very enjoyable work for us, and we try to help especially businesses from Poland that are interested in entering the US market through the Chicago area and the city of Chicago. And this also gives us quite frequent opportunity to collaborate with wonderful agencies and people representing the Polish Trade and Investment Agency and the Illinois Office of Trade and Investment. Well, I think this briefly summarizes our efforts. Our offices, as you can see from the last slide, located in the heart of the northwest side of Chicago, at the Copernicus Center Annex at 1514 West Lawrence Avenue, very convenient location, halfway between O'Hare and downtown Chicago, and very close to the Kennedy, the highway that, not to mention being adjacent to the main building of the Copernicus Center, where in fact the Polish-American Chamber of Commerce had its founding meeting back in February, I believe, of 1994. The founding members met at the King's Hall on the third floor of Copernicus Center, which I encourage everyone to visit. It's quite an interesting site if you haven't yet. And if you visit Copernicus Center, by all means, stop by at the Copernicus Center Annex, where I'm speaking from today and where our offices are located. Thank you again, Elisa, and thank you all for listening to me.
Polish American Chamber is just one of many chambers in the city of Chicago, and we believe they are great resources for all startup entrepreneurs and current business owners. We could not speak more highly of the PACC. They do amazing work within the Polish community and just the regular Chicago business community. So thank you so much for sharing some of the tools available. And I will now pass it over to Michał. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Elisa, for this opportunity for this introduction, and thank you, the City of Chicago Business Affairs and Consumer Protection Department for having me. As mentioned, my name is Michał Rzeźnik, and for the past 2 years, I've had the honor of managing the Foreign Trade Office in Chicago for the Polish Investment and Trade Agency. And on the next few slides, I will go over very briefly about Polish economy, the Poland-US business relations, and the Polish Investment and Trade Agency's resources. So if we go to the next slide, we can begin with just a few words about the Polish economy and what are the main factors for investors to actually choose Poland. Well, the number one factor is the location and excellent connectivity with Europe as well as the entire world. You can find airports servicing domestic and international flights in as many as 13 major Polish cities, 4 of them servicing intercontinental flights. The internal connectivity within Poland is also excellent, mostly due to its modernized highway and railroad systems. Now, if we think about population of Poland, it is the largest country in the Central Eastern Europe and the 5th largest in the European Union after Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. And 60% of our population lives in cities, and 23 million of Poles are of working age, which also constitutes 60% of Polish population. Now, the economy of Poland is definitely the major factor why Poland is chosen by foreign investors. Since the beginning of the economic transformation that started in 1990s, early 1990s, and until the COVID-19 pandemic, Poland never experienced an economic recession. And even during the 2009-2010 crisis, Poland was experiencing positive GDP growth. Now, despite the pandemic, Polish GDP negative growth was one of the least severe in Europe, with a decline of only 2.7%. Now, when it comes to new investments and new projects, every investor coming to Poland can rely on a variety of incentives, and we provide cash grants for new strategic projects to both Polish and foreign companies. In addition, corporate income tax waivers, exemptions of up to 15% if certain criteria, of up to 15 years if certain criteria are met, and as well as real estate tax exemptions. What else? In addition, there's the local financial and training support available, as well as EU funds for innovative and R&D projects. Now, the next slide, so this slide presents the total value of American investments in Poland, which is approximately $63 billion, and over 1,500 of companies together create approximately 200,000 jobs for the Polish economy. Over the last decade, American companies have doubled their employment in Poland. The United States also is the second most important source of capital investment, investment capital in Poland. They are responsible for 11% of total direct investments. The next two slides, so we go to the next one. The next slide. So this presents some of the specific companies that we'll be talking about. And here's a partial list of US companies. American investors are primarily looking for long-term stability and security. This is by far the most important criterion in considered before actually deciding on to allocate capital. Poland is perceived as an attractive place to invest. This is especially true in the current geopolitical context, as businesses are looking for alternatives to China, pretty much. And the next slide talks about the United States and as one of the most attractive destinations for Polish investors. And here are just some of Polish companies that are succeeding in the Midwest. There are also many reasons why it is good to choose the United States as a place for foreign investment. These include political and currency stability, as well as pro-economic approach of federal and state authorities. And the next slide tells us about the bilateral business relationship between Poland and the United States, and more specific trade summary that has been rapidly progressing. And as you can see on the slide, during the last decade, the total trade between both countries has tripled. And this trend clearly confirms the stable growth in trade and the progressive economic cooperation between Poland and the United States. Also, during this period, Poland climbed as many as 20 places in the ranking of US economic partners. Now, if we go to the next slide, the main categories of products shipped to the United States are mechanical and electrical machinery and equipment, precision measuring equipment, aviation parts, automotive parts and accessories, medical and orthopedic equipment, furniture, and food products. Imports from Poland, from the United States, in turn, involves airplanes, helicopters and their parts, machinery and equipment, radio and television equipment, medical and pharmaceutical products, and natural resources such as liquefied natural gas, LNG. Also, the cooperation in the field of energy is of great importance. The United States supports Poland in its efforts to diversify the sources of energy, especially energy supplies, mainly gas. In recent years, Poland has concluded several significant contracts for the purchase of American LNG, and the supplies of which will also increase in 2022. Also, intensive cooperation in the field of nuclear energy is also planned. The next slide talks about the Polish Investment and Trade Agency and our global presence. So we are a Polish government institution engaged in the promotion of business cooperation between Poland and global markets, and with 50 foreign trade offices on 6 continents. We are focused on markets that represent the greatest potential for Polish companies. Now, in supporting entrepreneurs and SMEs, our agency assists in overcoming administrative and legal problems, finding suitable locations, and connecting with suppliers and reliable partners. The next slide shows our US presence, and considering that the United States is a key economic and political partner for Poland, 4 of our offices are located on American soil, and these include New York City, Los Angeles, Houston, and of course, Chicago. As can be seen on the map on the slide, each American office is responsible for a specific geographic location, with the Chicago office obviously covering the Midwest region. Now, the next slide talks about the Foreign Trade Office in Chicago, and which acts pretty much as the primary point of contact of Polish for Polish exporters, American importers, as well as Polish and American investors. And we are a business partner on the American and Polish markets. So among number of our services, we provide analysis of export potential and identify routes to the market. We assess competition and provide business identity verification, a list of potential business partners, and arrange B2B meetings. We organize and provide information on upcoming trade shows, trade events, and trade missions. Identify investment opportunities and provide information on investment incentives. We provide location, property consulting, and site visits, arrange client meetings, and provide aftercare. And finally, we help with business promotion by providing access to business events. And also, like, we're always happy to listen and to any other business needs that you might have. So thank you for your attention, and I wish everyone a very productive day.
Michał. In case there were any concerns about why Poland is a great option for businesses, I think your slides definitely made the case for them. So thank you so much for sharing that great statistical knowledge as well. Go. And my apologies, this is the last slide for Michał. If you are interested in seeing how your business can work with the Polish Investment and Trade Agency, contact information is on this slide, with the website being paih.gov.pl. And now I pass it over to Ivana with the state of Illinois.
Good afternoon. My name is Iwona Bocianska, and I'm working with the State of Illinois Department of Commerce, Office of Trade and Investment, very long name. So many people know us as OTI, Office of Trade and Investment. I'm responsible for Europe. European market is significant, very important, and many Polish Americans, of course, and many Polish American businesses came from that particular market. So I had the pleasure interacting and working with Illinois companies exclusively, but also many of my clients are Polish descent, and that's the highlight of my day. Next slide, please. Yes, so what do we do? Office of Trade and Investment, we open international markets for Illinois companies. We promote foreign direct investment. I specialize in export promotion activities. So mainly we help Illinois companies to become global business player by helping them to export and learn about foreign opportunities, and also increase their sales and form successful partnerships. So mainly our services include export assistance, like I said, and education, promotion, and logistics support. Also very important for many companies is market intelligence and international protocol, foreign direct investment promotion and lead generation efforts, also trade mission coordination, educational exchanges, and also very important and interesting thing that we are trying to revisit is sister states and organizations agreements in terms of helping reach out and increase our sister relations with other states and countries around the globe. And by the way, I would like to say special thank you for Elisa Sledzinski and also Michał, Rzeźnik. Those two wonderful individuals, professionals, are members of the Chicago Sister Cities Committee, Warsaw Committee, that promotes relations between Chicago and Warsaw. I have a pleasure of serving as a co-chair of Warsaw Committee of the Chicago Sister Cities International. So this event reflects also Polish Heritage Month and our commitment as Polish American professionals when it comes to business development and support that we are extending to Polish American community here in Chicago. So thank you, Elisa, and also thank you, BACP, for being supportive of Elisa's efforts. Next slide, please. So Illinois' global network is much, much smaller than whatever Michael covered. Michael organization could be compared to US Department of Commerce and our global presence, but we are state of Illinois. And as a state, we have impressive global network. Of course, we have an office in Europe based in Brussels. That's the office I work very closely. I'm going to give you some examples later on, but also we are present in Canada, Mexico, also in Japan, in China, Shanghai, and we have an office in Israel, in Jerusalem, covering Middle Eastern region for us. Next slide, please. Yes, Illinois International Network. Of course, we don't operate in vacuum. We have wonderful partners here. We work very closely with US Department of Commerce, with Exim Bank, with US Small Business Administration, and the network of SBDCs. Also, we have very active relations with foreign consulates based here in Chicago, local Chamber of Commerce, and international trade organizations. So through our network of partners, we can support Illinois businesses much, much better, because if we don't know answers to certain questions, we know where to find those answers, which is quite important, because global economy and global landscape is becoming more and more complicated. And of course, it involves a constant process of enriching our knowledge in order to pass our marketing intelligence and global intelligence to our respective client companies. Next slide, please. So OTI, because of COVID-related travel restrictions, many of our programs were moved online. So last year we didn't organize trade shows. We are back now in trade show business, and I had very successful trade show in Barcelona covering information technology show called Mobile World Congress, and it was a real success story after COVID and a year of not being able to offer foreign trade shows to Illinois businesses. Now I'm working on another major trade show for medical companies, Medica trade show in Düsseldorf, Germany. The trade show will be in person, and unless anything else happens, I hope not. So we are working on physical presence at the trade show in Düsseldorf, Germany. That's the largest trade show when it comes to healthcare sector. And some firms spent a number of hours last year working on website localization and developing other online marketing tools to promote their company's exports growth. And the state of Illinois were able to support those companies through grants up to $10,000 US. So the time wasn't wasted, and many companies really benefited from that kind of services, getting ready for in-person trade shows. Next slide, please. And it is really important to be able to offer companies financial resources and real support through financial assistance and grants. We learned that a long time ago, and when we organize our trade missions, group trade missions, companies get wonderful support. So mainly when they qualify, they get 50% reimbursement for travel expenses, of course, up to a certain amount. We don't cover 5- or 6-star hotels, so there are certain regulations imposed by State Department. But like I said, companies are eligible companies receive up to 50% reimbursement for their travel-related expenses. If this is minority company, then the level of reimbursement is up to 75% for the first 3 years. This is great help, and also I just mentioned couple of trade shows, Mobile World Congress in Barcelona or Medica trade show in Germany. So we don't charge companies for exhibition space. So they come, they participate, and they have access to State of Illinois Pavilion, and our booth, exhibition booth, is free of charge for companies. So this is a very good promotion, highly competitive program. So I have a number of companies applying early, and they generate wonderful success stories. So I am a strong supporter of ISTEP program. That's how we call this program, Illinois State Trade and Export Promotion Program. We are working very closely with SBA, Small Business Administration, and that's the source of our funding. We get funds from them and we process our grants. But also, if, let's say, the company, Illinois business, doesn't find the trade mission that reflects their global interests or industry sector, then they can participate in individual foreign market sales missions. So this is custom-made program for those companies, and we support them as well. And I mentioned about website localization, but another big thing is help with product certification, especially many companies who export to Europe. They are interested in EU mark, so we help them achieving proper product certifications for all regions of the globe. Next slide, please. Yes. So, of course, the company has to qualify for our programs. We help small and medium-sized companies, so they have to have fewer than 500 employees. They have to have at least 250,000 in annual revenue. They have to understand the cost associated with exporting. They have to, their services, they have to contain minimum of 51% US and 25% Illinois content. And also they have to have a sound strategy for exporting and be export ready. That's why we work with the network of Illinois trade centers located strategically in the state of Illinois. So when the company is new to export, they can really benefit from local services, learn more about export requirements, and then come to us. And of course, we're gonna help them in their global expansion. Next slide, please. Like I said, we specialize in different markets. So Iwona Boczenska, myself, I am responsible for European market. I have 3 colleagues that cover Asia Pacific, Africa and Middle East, and Canada and Latin America. And in my case, I specialize in 3 industry sectors, being medical, healthcare, then information technology and aerospace. That's my top specialty. I think it is very helpful to offer companies the best trade shows globally, and that's what we do when it comes to European trade shows. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, iwona.boczenska@illinois.gov. Also, I'm on Facebook. You can find me on various social media and various platforms. So sometimes more casual approach is more encouraging. So feel free to talk to me, and there is so many things that we can do as a state of Illinois, working very closely with World Business Chicago, working very closely with City of Chicago. This is absolutely wonderful resource for Illinois companies and businesses. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Iwona. And I just want to commend the state of Illinois during the pandemic. Lots of grants and lots of loans went through the office. So thank you so much to the state for recognizing that, you know, small businesses truly are the backbone of our economy. And we only hope that as we enter this recovery period, that we could see some really good global growth from Chicago and European companies.
Elisa, let me just add that companies are so enthusiastic about traveling, attending various events. This is just unbelievable. So the level of enthusiasm, commitment, and dedication is hard to describe. So I'm very, very happy that overall situation due to COVID-19 is much, much better, and many European countries are open for business. So of course, my presentation is very Europe-centered, but like I said, I have colleagues who can advise companies when it comes to other parts of the globe. Thank you.
Today, we actually have a business that would love to share their experience with different resources that have been offered through different organizations. So with us, we have Agnieszka. Welcome. I'll pass it over to you.
For a beautiful introduction, and I'm honored to be a panelist on this event today to celebrate the Polish American Heritage Month. So I'm 100% Polish, I'm American, and I'm on the other side of the table. I'm the business owner of the small business, as Elisa mentioned. And let me introduce myself on the next slide, please. So I'm Agnieszka Rapacz. I'm the business owner. And who's the business owner? Business owner is a boss, a leader, a colleague, a manager. And these are all my titles that I host right now, I hold. And that will help me and helped to create and start my business. I got my education, bachelor's degree in finance and accounting, which helps finance, marketing, accounting, PR, be very creative and thinking outside the box. I'm a certified tea sommelier. I own a tea shop, so I educate myself constantly. I visited 8 tea gardens all over the world. I've been in almost all continents to see where my products are coming from, so I understand better what I sell, what I service to the customers. I'm a founder of not-for-profit organization. I give back to the community. Right now, I'm drinking from the pink cup to celebrate the breast cancer awareness month. I'm a mom that taught me how to be a caring person, have a courage. I'm an athlete. I'm actually been on US team. I'm a professional swimmer. I'm happy to share that I hold over 30 medals, including 20 gold. Help to be strong, to be a leader, to be a team player, and be a fighter. And how to hold in a very risky and stressful situation. And I'm a travel enthusiast. Remember, you're a business owner. You work hard and you deserve a break. You deserve to have your time, your me time. So I always said since we are small business owners, we work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We need to have that break. And on the next page, I'll tell you how you should, what sources, what steps you need to follow to even think to start your business. So first, you need to have a passion. I don't work because I love tea. I drink tea. I've been drinking tea since I was a little, and since I'm Polish, I always been drinking tea. From the beginning. That's our pretty much our a cultural beverage, and I always big the whole later. Remember, you need to make a plan. Without a plan, your business plan, there's no way to start a business. Then you need to think about finances. Do you have your own capital? Do you have a local bank that you can build a relationship with, that you can get some business loans that will help you to start up the business? Because the business startup is pretty expensive, because like the situation like the COVID last year, we need to be all prepared and have that extra savings in the business. Remember to always contact your legal advice. What kind of legal entity you should start, and also licensing. That you can't start a business without a license of City of Chicago. Also, you have to register with the state of Illinois and have your FDA number. You have to even just put it on paper on your schedule before even to think to start a business. And on the next slide, how we starting a business. The most important, especially in my type, since I'm a brick and mortar location. You have to look for the place where your clientele is located. And the best way to find information like that, to work with the City of Chicago, to work with local chambers, chamber of or Lincoln Park Chamber. They can give you those statistics. They can help you with even find the location for your business. And you may be asking, why did I put that beautiful red Porsche on the slide? The reason is that this car is one of the best built cars in the world, but it wasn't built just one person. It was built by a huge team. It was an effort of a huge teamwork. And you need all those people to help you in your business. So remember, to study the business, you need to have a supply partners that you have to rely, that you can always start rely on them even on the last minute. Logistics are very, especially you have problem with the logistics supplies. I don't have problem with my travel with my agency to get my tea in the country. However, we've heard that there's a lot of supply chain issues right now. We've seen empty shelves in the grocery stores. IT. If your computers don't work, your registers in the store, or you have online shop, you need to have a partner that will help you in a very stressful situations. And maintenance. Make sure that always all your everything in the store, everything in your warehouse is working properly. And the most employees that will work with you, they're passionate about the product, about the work they do. And of course, the marketing. Without marketing and social media, you always have to brand yourself. Branding is very important. And on the next slide, that's where all the resources you can find would help me. So the most important in a small business is the cash flow. I started doing the cash flow just a few years ago, and I'm telling you, it helped me with my I start my business day, I actually check my bank account, and I always update my cash flow. Remember, cash is a king. Without the cash, the business doesn't exist. You need to be prepared to pivot or reinvent your business. Always have that exit or a different plan. And a pandemic last year was a perfect example. A lot of businesses have to pivot their business for carry out or move completely online. You have to keep yourself with the trends, what's going on in the field. I always put in my calendar that I to at least once a month to keep myself educated and see what's going on in the economy. I listed some of the resources that I used in the past few years. So of course, the Polish American Chamber. I attend a lot of networks and networking events, a lot of webinars linked by Chamber of Commerce. Another, it's a not-for-profit organization. It's called SCORE. And the city of Chicago, BACP. And at least once a year, I go there. Actually, the old-fashioned way, I go to the office and get my all issues resolved that way. So that's the side of the small business here in Chicago. Thank you for your time. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to help. And thank you for having me today.
Our panelists, the insight has been absolutely incredible, and I want to thank you for your time and sharing your expertise. We will open it up now for questions, and you could send your questions in the chat box, which is on the right-hand side of your screen. If you click on the word chat, you could send in your questions there. And we'll give our attendees a couple minutes if they want to draft something and send a question in.
So Elisa, with your permission, I would like to make a comment about our last presenter about the notion that cash is a king. So that's what it is. Even state of Illinois, when we are working with companies, we are looking for this 250,000, yes, in so the company has to be established and be able to make the next step in terms of global expansion and entering the export game, so called. But on the other hand, also we work with startups. When companies have interesting products, then we help them as well. So we try to make sure that this 250,000 annual revenue isn't a barrier for companies. We have some state resources and we work with our partners to assist that kind of companies as well. And also many global trade show organizers, they have special, I would say, track for companies who are startups. The great example is the trade show that we organized last year, was online in Portugal, devoted exclusively to information technology. And many companies, startups were included and received help from the state of Illinois. So if someone has great idea and doesn't meet certain criteria, still it makes sense to reach out to us, to talk with us, and there is a way of finding solution. And also City of Chicago, and especially World Business Chicago Next, yes, they have many resources available to startup companies. Thank you.
Is there a way we can possibly view all the possible chambers available to assist small businesses? Is there perhaps a chamber directory we can access? And absolutely, the City of Chicago does have that. I'm going to put it in the chat, but if you visit chicago.gov/NBDC, you could find a chamber, whether it's in your neighborhood or if you're exploring a new neighborhood. You know, if you have a storefront on the north side and you're looking to go, as Bogdan said, maybe on Milwaukee Avenue, you could reach out to the Polish American Chamber that way. So don't think of a chamber as only specific to an area. It's a network of business service organizations looking to help you.
Yes,
So,
as I
Elisa,
mentioned earlier on, as a chamber, we were very pleased that our network of relationships with other local chambers of commerce and international organizations is growing. And so if you're looking for to start somewhere, knocking on our doors, the Polish American Chamber of Commerce will definitely give you a good opening. We not only have the list that Elisa mentioned that the city has of all the chambers of commerce that are active in the Chicago area, with both within the city and in city suburbs, but we often do programming together. Just about every month, there's something that we're doing with several other chambers or other organizations. So by joining one of these chambers organizations, you're very likely sooner or later to be exposed to others and multiply your networks.
and also don't forget about Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce, which is very active, and also Illinois Chamber of Commerce at the state level. So there's a lot of activities and a lot of joint sessions and events. And I attended some sessions organized by Bogdan and Polish American Chamber of Commerce with other Chamber of Commerce, with local Chamber of Commerce. Always so much fun and such a great learning experience and way of meeting companies, getting connected with local businesses and learn more about services they offer, and also learn about needs they have.
It's all about the synergy within all of our organizations, and I thank you for that. I don't see any additional questions coming in. But I do want to mention, if any questions come up later in the day or at any given time, you could always send an email to bacp@cityofchicago.org. If it's, you don't remember the specific email address of Michał, Bogdan, you could by all means send us an email and we'll connect you to any resource that was mentioned here. That's what we're here for. So once again, I do want to thank all of our panelists for sharing the resources your organizations provide. You really are truly helping Chicago's business economy just through your support and your time and your efforts. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Elisa, for organizing this great event. And I have a question for Agnieszka. Agnieszka, may we buy your tea online, or where are you located?
Yes, so we have a store on Gold Coast at 1160 North State Street. Also, you can order it online at tgtea.com. I'm going to put it in the chat.
Yes, please do so, because I love tea, and I used to buy wonderful tea in London. There are many good stores there, but recently I don't travel as much as often as I used to, so I can really benefit from your knowledge, and I can get something very, very special for Thanksgiving. That's what on my mind. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
We think it's perfect timing.
Yeah, I strongly suggest to come into the store so you can see. We have only 300 teas in our collection, so at least you can see and smell and experience.
Yeah. Firsthand, yes, would be great. Yes, that's what I'm gonna include in my agenda. Yes, trip to your lovely store. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Elisa, let me just add also that if anyone has any questions w języku polskim, to zapraszamy do tego, żeby kontaktować się z naszą Izbą Handlową w Copernicus Center Annex. Można również e-mailem lub telefonicznie na numer 773-205-1998. Wszyscy, którzy pracują w naszym biurze, są co najmniej dwujęzyczni, jeśli nie więcej, więc zapraszamy również tych, którzy chcieliby porozmawiać, zadać pytania lub pospekulować w języku polskim.
Również State of Illinois, oczywiście mówię po polsku i również służę swoim doświadczeniem, radą, pomocą, informacją, także serdecznie zapraszamy. Jest to bardzo pomocne. Mam sporo telefonów zarówno z Polski, jak i z Chicago oraz z innych stanów, ponieważ wiele biznesów, które są zlokalizowane w innych stanach, nie ma dostępu do tak wspaniałych serwisów, które my tu oferujemy, zarówno miasto, jak i stan Illinois. Także dzwonią czasami, żeby zapytać, dowiedzieć się więcej i ewentualnie zasugerować różne programy, inicjatywy, jeżeli chodzi o lokalnych liderów czy komórki rządowe w tych innych po prostu stanach czy lokalizacjach. Także Illinois i naprawdę miasto Chicago jesteśmy bardzo, bardzo aktywni i mamy bardzo dużo programów dla biznesów, tylko co jest szalenie ważne, to żeby firmy zadały sobie trud wykonania telefonu, skontaktowania się z nami. I co ja zauważyłam w swojej pracy, że te firmy, które kiedyś gdzieś spotkały się ze mną, czy odpowiedziały na nasze, powiedzmy, to się tak ładnie mówi mailing, prawda, czyli wszystkie oferty, które wysyłamy, te firmy pozostają jakby z nami na zawsze, to znaczy na przykład zaczynają od rynku europejskiego, biorą pod uwagę rynek kanadyjski jako pierwszy, czy Meksyk, bo to są te najprostsze jakby jeszcze tutaj rynki, zwłaszcza Kanada, ten sam język, a później kolejne części świata. Także mam klientów, firmy, z którymi pracuję ponad 20 lat, także starzeją się wraz ze mną, a ja starzeję się wraz z nimi. Także to jest śmieszna sytuacja. Dzisiaj rozmawiałam z firmą, z którą zaczęliśmy uczęszczać na coroczne targi Medyka w Düsseldorfie i pierwszy raz pracowaliśmy razem w 1996 roku. Czyli 25 lat temu, także taka okrągła rocznica. Przez 25 lat pomagam firmom właśnie na tych targach w Düsseldorfie, organizując naszą delegację ze stanu Illinois. Także przez moment zastanowiłam się, mówię, Boże, minęło 25 lat. Tak? Bardzo zwłaszcza, jeżeli życie jest czynne i
Iwona,
to, co mówiła Agnieszka, jeżeli...
Iwona, ja Ciebie spotkałem chyba 25 lat temu, a może i nawet więcej i się nie mogę nadziwić, jak Twoja polszczyzna jest, ona jest coraz lepsza, mimo tego, że mieszkasz w Illinois. Jak to robisz?
O, dziękuję bardzo. Ja staram się, wiesz, ja dużo czytam po polsku, rozmawiam, piszę. To jest bardzo ważne, bo na pewno tutaj osoby, które urodziły się w Polsce, czy wychowały się, czy studiowały w Polsce po 30 czy 35 latach pobytu, bardzo często zauważają, że jest im o wiele łatwiej mówić, powiedzmy, po angielsku, zwłaszcza jeżeli chodzi o tematy biznesowe, czy też czytać po angielsku. To jest problem mojego męża. On kupuje książki po angielsku, a ja staram się też kupować książki polskie i właśnie powiedział mi ostatnio, wiesz, tak jakoś trudno mi jest czytać po polsku, więc jednak z czasem wytraca się taką świeżość językową, więc musimy nad tym pracować i staram się też uczyć moje małe wnuki polskiego, ale niestety co zauważyłam, że łatwiej jest przekazać tak zwany passive knowledge, one rozumieją, ale jakby łatwiej jest im powiedzieć na przykład jaki to jest kolor, to zamiast powiedzieć niebieski, to mówią blue. Także z angielskim jest bardzo ciężko konkurować, prawda? Więc dlatego Elisa, twój język polski jest bardzo ładny, jestem z ciebie dumna, naprawdę.
A teraz Elisa podsumuje wszystko w języku angielskim, to co ja powiedziałem i Iwona.
Tak jest.
Od początku, nie dziękuję. No, dziękuję bardzo do wszystkich panelistów. Naprawdę, że czas wzięliśmy porozmawiać po polsku i na rozmowy, co naprawdę pomagają naszego community. To dziękuję bardzo do wszystkich.
Dziękujemy bardzo.
Okay. Dziękuję. So thank you so much to all of our attendees. Once again, if you have any questions, whether in English or in Polish, please feel free to reach out to us and we will support you. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Dziękujemy.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.